Welcome, guys, to the monthly Masterclass. This is definitely up there as some of my favorite things that I do throughout the month, getting to hop on a call with you guys and hang out. And if you're a first timer, let me know in the chat. We always like to give you guys shout outs that are first time attendees in the monthly Masterclass. These masterclasses are a way for me to work directly with my clients in multiple capacities. Whether that be through one of my coaching programs, and this is part of it, whether that be through my advertising technology company, Carroll Media, and our platform Alley. We've got small businesses, big businesses, and everybody in between. And so I'm happy to have you guys here with me today. Formats of these calls, as always, go for about 30 minutes, and then we open it up for Q&A. Make sure I get you guys out of here by the top of the hour. I do also have some of my team members in the call as well. So if you guys have follow-up questions or need one-to-one meetings after this is over, we can schedule those as well. So I always do a nice little intro and keep it nice and subtle for the first 5 minutes in case people hit traffic. But that's my Zoom joke. But I do want to draw your guys' attention to this bad boy. I just dropped my first published book this past Monday, and so pretty excited for that. We got our book launch party on Friday, and this has been a book that's been about 10 years in the making, and pretty pumped about it. It's a hunter head game. This is a battle-hardened playbook, if you will, for shifting from what I call passive prey to strategic predator. You know, oftentimes as entrepreneurs and salespeople, the toughest battle that we face is actually the 6 inches between our ears. And so I wrote this book over the past 10 years. It's got a lot of stories in it, a lot of anecdotes, a lot of frameworks that I use in my business. And if you missed it, just did an 8.5-hour live stream on Monday. I honestly don't know how my voice is still holding together. Did 8.5-hour live stream, read this thing front to back for the audiobook recording. Tuesday, hopped right in the studio and recorded, I think, a half a dozen or more videos. And then today, we're back in the lab and doing our monthly coaching call. So I see Ernesto's in here, Sarah's in here, got multiple Sarah's in here, Charlie's in here, Shannon, Tanya, Paige. Hello, Paige. Wow. Shout out to Paige Bruce. We've been running Charlie Pelt's new social media campaign now it's a custom campaign for several months, and she just sent me the numbers. They're getting almost a quote start per day that from the traffic that we're driving. So shout out to you, Paige, for that. But all right, guys, well, let's get this party started. You guys are here to learn and take some stuff away. I've got some notes, and as always, I like to also give you guys some updates. Part of this coaching class, this master class, if you will, has turned into AI, like all things. It used to be a sales training class because in my early years as Coach Carroll, that's exclusively what I focused on, was helping entrepreneurs sell more so they could get to the money faster. But it's quickly changed, and I don't think I've done a single episode in the last 12 months that hasn't had some form or fashion of AI in it. So I'll start at the top. I actually just shared this article with my team. WPP, which is a global advertising and marketing firm. They're one of the biggest ones in the game, what we call a big player. They just announced a partnership with Google to embed AI into their marketing. And the reason why I want to bring the story up as we get started here is this is what happened to us 3 years ago, November of 2020. Is that right? 23, 24, 25? Yeah, November. Jeez, oh Pete, we're almost 3 years into this thing. When I hopped on Dolly for the first time back in November of 2022 and saw what was happening with this AI generated content, I was like, holy smokes, man, this is the future. Creatives historically thought they were going to be the last to be displaced by AI. But what we've quickly found is that AI is disrupting the marketing and advertising industry probably faster than anything else. I think the legal industry is also going to be disrupted, quite frankly, but we'll see what happens with that. And I'm pretty excited about this because it also just doubles down that the shift that we've made in the last 18 months to be kind of an AI first creative play, meaning that when we create ads for our clients, we're using AI to do that heavy lifting. I mentioned to you guys last month that this quarter's creative, one of my favorite ones, is like a frozen turkey busting through the kitchen window. And it said, dinner arrived early. It would have costed us tens of thousands of dollars to produce the scene that image could have been created out of. But instead, we can do it in a matter of minutes, and we can provide that level of value to our clients, which is pretty awesome. So WPP announced this deal. They're spending $400 million on this partnership, and they're using what's called VO3. And I'd be curious if anybody's used VO3. Let me know in the chat. It is Gemini's model that is pretty powerful. I showed you guys a video a couple weeks ago, or I'm sorry, a couple of months ago of some content that I made with it. I literally just made a couple of promo posts for this. I took a picture of this book and I told VO3, I was like, hey, make me a promotional video utilizing this. I'll actually share that with you guys so you can see it. Part of this is like, I love sharing videos and content with you guys. Let me pull this up here real quick. Cool. And then I can share my screen and we'll just share a tab. Let me make sure. Boom, and share sound. Cool. So all I did was I basically took this a PNG, meaning there was no background. I took a picture of this book, I uploaded it to VO3, and I said, hey, make me a video ad utilizing the image of this book. And so this is what it came up with. Pretty crazy, right? It made that within a matter of minutes. I can tell you single-handedly that if I would have sent this one, I would have had to have come up with the idea to send the idea to my creative team, right? And said like, hey, here's the book. This is what I want you to do. Make the eyes glow, make the book pivot, blah, blah, blah. It would have taken a day minimum, probably multiple days for that to be created. And I could do it in a matter of minutes with VO3. And so what this is doing, I'm super bullish on this is that, organic content, oftentimes I get asked, like people are like, hey, how often should I post? And the answer is as many times as you can. Like there's no such thing as too much content. But oftentimes we're limited by our creative output ability, right? And so as a small business owner, you have limited time, limited money, and that hinders your creative output. And what do I mean by creative output? It means the ability to make content that you can post, right? And so if I'm limited by that, that's my only limitation, then I think AI gets you a better return on that time and money. Meaning that if you have one team member that can spend 2 hours a month creating content, they now can net create more content out of the same period of time. And so I'm super bullish with the AI stuff. I think it's a massive lift for small businesses. And I think with headlines like WPP doing a $400 million partnership with Google, you're seeing that this is where it's going because you're literally, they're using the same tools we've been using for 12 months. We're just not spending $400 million on that partnership. So there's also some other headlines I want to tell you guys about. Adobe launched a new AI agent. You're seeing this. There's also we're seeing a rise in AI-driven hyper-personalization. And so one of the big talks about sales and how AI is impacting that is like, oh, well, you're losing the human touch, or you're losing the human connectability. However, I don't know that like we fully can grasp where this is going. What do I mean by that? I don't think we can fully grasp how personalized the content, the marketing that's going to be put out can be personalized. Like imagine if there is an AI bot that can search out all of your social media profiles, right? Like, because like, let's face it, if you're doing B2B business, right? You're an insurance agent, and in your town, there is a big business owner that's got a tire shop, and he's been in business for 20 plus years, and you want to go after his business. Ideally, there would be some sort of research that you're going to do. Okay. So you're going to take some time. You're going to look at their LinkedIn. You might follow on Twitter. You might try to find things out about them. Now, I can tell you that Perplexity can do this for you, right? They can do your research for you. But what I'm talking about is in real time, when these agents come about, right? Like, so when these AI employees start to enter the market, because remember, that's why we have Alley. That's why I created Alley. I'm super bullish on the fact that I know small businesses will eventually have AI employees. When you have a sales research AI employee that can just take your standardized proposal, you say, hey, we want to make this standardized proposal for Mark Smith. It goes out and it finds out that Mark Smith is a Rotary member. It finds out that, Mark Smith is on the Chamber of Commerce. It finds out that he's a UK fan, right? University of Kentucky fan. It finds out that he has 2 kids and he's married and his wife was in the Air Force. Like, these are all things I know about Mark, right? Because he's a personal friend of mine. But these are things that research has to be done. But like, imagine a world where within seconds, that research gets completed and now your proposal is hyper personalized. Now your proposal looks completely different than the other insurance agent's proposal, right? And so where am I going with this? I'm telling you that the hyper personalization of sales proposals that used to be extremely time just sucking and draining, right? Like the time to spend all that to write that out and to do that research, that's going away, guys. You're going to be able to level up, not only level up your marketing game, your sales game. And we're already doing this in our company. Like, your sales game is going to 10x, 20x, 30x the power of the presentation, because you're going to be able to take that same amount of time you would have spent just doing research and to be able to put out a proposal that is so much more powerful, so much cleaner, so much more impressive. And so let's do a quick example. I'll show you guys what I mean by this. In the chat, let me know, have you used Perplexity? I'm curious. Anybody used Perplexity in the chat? Put a 1 in there. Oh, Shannon, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. That's awesome. She just put a screenshot of her dashboard. I want to pull this up. I'll pull this up here in a minute, Shannon. Actually, Shannon, let's just, I'll just use you, for instance. So all I'm going to do, I'll share my screen here in just a second, guys. Shannon Kuhn. Let me do this, insurance, okay? And then, okay, so let me share my screen here with you guys. This is like my favorite part about this, to show you guys like real world practicalities. Okay. So I've got Shannon pulled up here. And so this is Shannon Kuhn Allstate. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is it. This is all I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, right? Just this, just the name, Shannon Kuhn Allstate Insurance, right? I'm going to hop over to Perplexity and I'm going to say, I'm going to let this sign in. There we go. No, I don't want to download comment. Okay. And I'm going to say, hey, I need you to give me a research brief on Shannon for the purpose of creating a custom proposal to sell her my lawn care services, right? We're going super like low level. That's it. That's all the prompt is. That's all I'm giving them, right? So check this out. This thing is going to go out and search and look everything up. So just in a matter of seconds, it's like, hey, here you go. She's the owner and exclusive Allstate agent. Boom. Here's years in business. Boom, 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 boom. Her agency. It's pulling stuff from LinkedIn. background and experience, market customer base, community presence, tone, proposal positioning, boom, boom, boom. And so like, here's the other thing. It's like, okay, can you give me more info on her personally? Because this quote is for her personal residence. And I just want to show you guys like the research that this thing can do. Like it's checking Facebook, insurance. Okay, well established. Here's your full name, approximate age. Sorry, Shannon, didn't mean to put that out there. Location, possible residence areas. We won't show your personal phone number. Personal lifestyle. Shannon's perfect, family oriented, community driven, protect their dreams. I mean, this is pretty scary. It's like trying to like figure out your lawn size. Let's see, tailored proposal, peace of mind, lasting curb appeal, seasonal maintenance, values professional presentations, community pride, and consistent quality, making our ideal client for a premium lawn care package. Like, how crazy is this, right? That we can literally just in a matter of seconds rip all of this, right? And then so what I would do is like, now I would just like copy this, right? Copy that. And then now I would take that into ChatGPT or Claude and I would give it like what my standardized proposal is. And then I would give it this information. I'd be like, hey, tailor this to Shannon specifically. So what I was just able to do there, literally in a matter of minutes, would have taken me hours to do from a research standpoint. And so like, that's how this is like, this helps you guys like make real dollars out of this. Okay. To me, I think that this is, no worries, my age on there is wrong. That's okay. You know, for me, I think that this is something that you guys can use to hypercharge your sales team. Your sales team should be utilizing AI every single day, right? Like I talk a lot of it about Allie, like helping her, like she can help you make content if we're not taking care of that for you. I also just think that there's a lot of agents that we're seeing now that are like, hey, can Allie just do this, this, and this? So I don't have to outsource that to an employee. And it's like, yeah, most of the times the answer is yes. So again, guys, I want you guys to see the true potential and the true power that's in this, the power to do that research. Now, again, do you want to do this for an internet lead that is looking for monoline auto? No, probably not. Like, do you want to do this for you know, somebody that is looking to buy $150,000 house, $150,000 house if you're a realtor? No. Do you want to, you know, worry about this if it's a small HVAC service call? No. Okay. But if you're putting together big proposals, right? If you're going, what I teach my little nieces and nephews, I call them big money deals, right? If you're going after big money deals, oftentimes the professionalism of your proposal is what can win you the business, right? And so I wanted to give that to you guys because I think it's super powerful and it's not going anywhere. It's going to continue to grow and be effective. All right. So we talked about the WPP, talked about the book, which by the way, guys, this book, I edited this thing with ChatGPT and Claude. So I also, inside of the book, this was about a 500-page manuscript. And what we did is I basically went back and I edited it. My tongue's about wore out this week. I edited it with Claude on one chapter and ChatGPT on the other. And so I also did these images. So I'll hold this up here so you guys can see, which is pretty gnarly, right? Let me spotlight for everybody. Check that out. That image is generated by ChatGPT. And so what happens here is like the power of our output as human beings, I think has drastically increased. Now, whether people has harnessed that power is the debate. Much like, did you harness the power of the internet early? And that's why I teach my access, attention, and AI framework, is because there have been these three technological waves that have hit small businesses, the first being the internet. I want you to think, like, if you were in business when the internet came out, like how fast were you to adopt to the internet? How fast did you get your business on the internet? Social media was the second one. That's the attention wave that hit, right? Like everybody is glued to this freaking thing right here, right? But how fast did you adopt your business to that? Obviously, if you're within this call, you've adopted because you're working with us probably. And so the next one is AI. And so I just spoke about 3 weeks ago, I guess, almost a month ago. I was in Nashville. I spoke at a State Farm conference put on by Tim Linden. He had me come in and teach my AI playbook. And so while I was there, it was about 200 agents. I asked the room, I said, raise your hand if you're using ChatGPT. It was almost everybody. 2 weeks prior to that, I was in a room full of 300, 400 moving company owners. I said, raise your hand if you're using ChatGPT or an AI version of like some version of AI. Almost every hand got raised. I think the adoption of this technology has been way faster than social media or the internet. And I think it's because like the first time it happened, like when the internet came around, that was like the T-Rex coming into the village and everybody's like, hey, what's that? And like it eats a couple people are like, oh shit, we should probably run, right? The second time it shows up, it's like, oh no, there's the T-Rex, right? And and now like the third time has happened, like technology is showing up again and like shaking up the snow globe. And everybody's like, run! Right? They're like all freaking out because we see this technology moving so fast and we're seeing how it's impacting our daily lives. And so I think a lot of small business owners are like, hey, we got to adapt to this thing sooner rather than later. And so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm bullish about it. I think as long as it's human versus humans, we're good. I've said this before, like when it becomes humans versus machines, like cool, like buy some land and learn how to grow a garden probably. None of this business advice matters at that point, but I'm bullish on it. I think it's super powerful. So, okay, before we get into Q&A, I want to keep this thing moving here. I want to talk about, we talked a little bit about how AI is changing. We see the big players adopting. We also see like, I know a lot of times compliance can be the challenge, right? Compliance can be an issue. But I want to talk about AI voice because you guys have heard me talk about this for a couple of months now. And we're starting to get some really cool case studies. And I'll tell you guys, my brother Nick is in here, and admittedly, he doesn't get super excited. He's not nearly as animated as I am. Him and I are like polar opposites. That's why he runs like ops and deliverables and I run sales and marketing, is because it's easy for me to get excited about tech stuff. Cause like, admittedly, I'm kind of a nerd. In fifth grade, I had like a computer and I was like taking it apart and stuff. It was pretty crazy. So I've always kind of been a bit of a nerd. But when we start getting like real life case studies back, like real data, Nick has gotten really excited. So we have an agent, an Allstate agent out in, I think Kansas, maybe Colorado. I want to say Kansas, somewhere in the middle of the country. And Ryan installed Allie about a month ago on his phone system and basically allowed his team to not have to worry about answering the phone anymore. Okay. So we took his phone system during business hours, only during business hours, like only 9 to 5, because like he's an Allstate agent. He's got like after hours, I guess it automatically rolls over, but he's only using it 9 to 5. We didn't realize the amount of time that it took his team to go back and listen to voicemails, because if somebody leaves you like a 6-minute voicemail, you got to listen to all 6 minutes of it. With Allie, one, that nobody ever goes to voicemail again. Two, Allie writes an AI summary that's like you can read within a couple of seconds. And three, it's the talk time. Like, holy smokes. We are saving his team about 10 hours per week, like 40 hours a month of talk time just from inbound calls. We also identified that about 30% of those inbound calls are spam. They're just like people that are trying to sell you something, they're robocalls, they're telemarketers. And so his team, the efficiency pickup, we're still like working on those, but like we literally can see dollar for dollar, at the cost of about $50 a week, right? Which is what Allie costs, $10 a day, like he's swapping out 2 hours for $10 for his team. And so that's $5 an hour, like in real time. Like that's crazy, man. Like real hardcore efficiency pickups. Like this isn't like pie in the sky, like maybe it could do this or that. Like, no, like these are real numbers. And so like I'm pretty pumped about that because the AI voice is like, I think we have the realest sounding one in the game. It's funny enough. I cut some videos yesterday, or I'm sorry, day before yesterday, made some ads, and I said the difference is I'm not a tech bro, meaning like I'm a real entrepreneur like you guys are. And so like when we built Alley, I built it with all of the stuff in the back of my mind of like the real problems that business owners have. And so it's been pretty freaking sweet, man, to see this thing roll out and to see like the real time adaption. We also like Kelly James gave us a shout out. She said, hey, Alley, I was trying to call a customer all day long, and then the customer called back at like 6 o'clock at night, and Alley was able to answer the phone and like give them a good experience so they didn't go to voicemail. That was pretty cool. And then I'll also tell you guys, I spent some time just working, like I love sales. And so like I spent some time in our pipeline yesterday calling on prospects that we had talked to and trying to close some deals. And there were several insurance offices that I called at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that nobody answered. The phone rang for 2.5, 3 minutes. I was like on hold music, and then ultimately went to voicemail. And there's two things that happen there, right? Like if I'm a prospective customer and I want to spend $10,000 a month with you buying insurance, like I'm probably not just sitting on that phone. I'm going to hang up, call somebody else. Also, if I do sit on that phone and I leave a voicemail, what is the realistic timeline for your team to call that voicemail back? Does that get done that same day? Does it roll over to tomorrow? By tomorrow, I could have already bought insurance somewhere else. And so it's pretty wild to me, the like true efficiency pickups that are happening in AI. So, all right, I think we ran through everything there. We talked about that. We'll get into the hot seat now for Q&A and kind of strategic applications. This is where I let you guys kind of ask me questions, and we don't do this in a webinar format. We do this in a Zoom setting so that you guys can ask questions real time. You can unmute yourself. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to, but this gives us the opportunity to kind of chat it up, and this gives me like 30-ish minutes, 20-ish minutes to just work one-on-one with you guys. So we'll go ahead and open this thing up. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to unmute yourself and let's chat. No questions? Come on, guys. This is your opportunity to stump me. You got questions about our service? You got questions about AI? You got questions about implementing anything? Like, that's what I'm here for.
Hey, DJ, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Loud and clear.
Okay. All right, perfect. So I kind of stepped in late, so I kind of I'm not 100% familiar with Alley, but I think I got the gist of it. How how long does it take to get set up with that? And is there like what all does it do, I guess?
Yeah. So she does three main things. So social media management, receptionist, and then lead detection. So if you have a standalone website, you can use the lead detection, which identifies anonymous website visitors. If you don't have your own website, that's more difficult because oftentimes like corporates won't allow us to like install pixels on their own on a corporate owned website. However, on the social media side, she does 85% of the heavy lifting now in our agency that used to be done by people, so creative and things like that. On the advertising side, typically have ads and content up and going within a week. On the voice side, we actually just rolled out another improvement using AI like on our backside. And like you fill out a form, dude, and like we can have Alley up and running and over to you to test within like 24 to 48 hours. Pretty crazy how fast we've gotten because like it's kind of like super meta, right? It's like we're building an AI for your business, but then we're using AI to help us build that AI even more efficiently and effectively. And so like just the speed pickup is there. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't think anything we do takes longer than like a week to turn around, which is pretty cool. And then, it's $197 a month for the voice. We actually have a free account for the AI lead detection if you want to try that out. And then for the advertising, social media management side, it could be anywhere from, If you just want the creative that Allie creates each month, and you can post it yourself, that's $100 a month. Up to custom proposals, we've got clients spending north of $5,000 a month with us. So it really just depends on the marketing side, on what your objectives are. But on the voice side, it's like it's really at a 197 price point at $10 a day. It's like a no brainer because you're. Well, I'll say this too. The ability to use AI, I don't believe that it's to replace people. I think it's to replace jobs. And what do I mean by that? If you have Tina that answers your phones now, it's not about like hire Allie, fire Tina. It's hire Allie, move Tina into higher leveraged, higher ROI things that she could be doing with her time, right?
Absolutely.
Calling and telling somebody happy birthday, which you guys shouldn't be doing that. You could use ringless voicemails for that, sending them out once a month, all your clients that have birthdays this month. But like, have her following up with customers, having her set appointments for policy reviews, life insurance reviews, et cetera, et cetera. To me, I think that's where the leverage comes from AI. Is it's like it enhances your team. And I think in the future, you're going to have like 4 or 5 human team members, and you're going to have like 3 or 4 AI team members. I think that's where we're going. And I'm super fucking pumped that 10 years from now, I can come back to like watch these clips and be like, told you guys, like it was right there. I was calling
Right, right.
it.
All right, I just have one more question. I won't monopolize your time, but
Yeah, man, you're
so
fine.
like with the lead detection and all that, so can Ally and this stuff integrate with platforms like Go High Level, things like that?
Yeah, man. So with Go High Level, and remind me, Larry, what you're not State Farm, I don't think, right?
No, I'm the one who has like really, really high, they don't like us to use anything, all state.
Yeah, Allstate. Okay. So the thing with I'll tell you, you guys are actually in a better shape than State Farm. And State Farm, I think, is the most high. I think it goes State Farm, Allstate, and then Farmers, and then like Independents. It's like the fucking wild, wild west. Those guys can do anything. But the Go High Level, if you're using that like as your like CRM or your marketing tool on the backside, yeah, absolutely. So the way I would workflow that, right, is like Allie can answer the calls, and then she can put the leads straight into Go High Level for you to work. If you do the AI lead detection, if you have a standalone website, once you identify those website visitors, put those into Go High Level like through an API, which is getting a little nerdy here, but you basically get those ported into your CRM. And then once they're in your CRM, like you tag them, like so it's an Allie tag. It's not like a hot customer that like opted into your website. It's somebody we detected. And then from there, you put them in like what I call a lead nurturing sequence. And so a lead nurturing sequence simply is a series of text messages, emails, and maybe personal touches or direct mail that you can send to someone if they're interested. Because let's face it, oftentimes people may come to your Allstate site, or they may find you if you're running social media ads, they see you, but they saw the ad while they were at a stoplight, and then the stoplight turns green, and then they're like bounce off your website, and they never called you, text you, filled out a form. Likewise, they could be at home. And I always like to say that now, if I've got a 2.5-year-old, almost 3, it's like she comes running through the house with a Sharpie, with no cap on it. It's like everything gets put down. It's like grab a hold of Willow, don't let her draw on the walls. And so that's how short our attention span is now as consumers. And so that's why like we built the AI lead detection, because we saw this being an opportunity to grab 30%. Again, we can't detect everybody. We're truthful on this. Like it's about 30% of your website traffic. But then you've got a name, you've got an email address, where they came from, the landing page they landed on, and then also their home address. So like if you wanted to drip them direct mail, you want to drip them emails, it's a way that you can stay in front of these people. We're working on it right now, Larry, of like, does it make sense for us to spend the development dollars to just let Allie take it fully? The argument I keep having is like more and more businesses understand like you need to have a Go High Level or a HubSpot or a Salesforce or something. You got to have some type of CRM to manage things. And so it's like, do we want to compete with that, or would it be better that we just like marry those and say, yeah, no matter what CRM you're using, Allie can work inside of it. And so, that's where kind of the professional services piece comes in is like, oftentimes if a customer is like, hey, can you take my AI lead detection people that you detect, put them into my CRM and then warm them up? We're like, yeah, what campaign do you want us to assign to the lead? And it's like, what? And it's like, well, do you have an 18-month nurturing campaign set up? It's like, no, we don't have that. It's like, okay, so we got to build that first before we can do that. And that's where a lot of CRMs, honestly, Larry, are like, it can do this and it can do this and it can do this. And it's like, yeah, but I have to build this, right? And then I got to build this. It's like they don't come preloaded with all that stuff already made into them. So
Right. And that, I guess that was going to be part of my next question is that, are you guys familiar with Go High Level and able to build out some of those things that are not currently existing, obviously for a fee, but are you guys familiar with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because that kind of falls under what we consider like our professional services piece, but it's like, it's like a one-time deal. It's not a subscription to anything. But once it's done, like once it's built, then you have the ability to like, cool, man, now I'm doing a follow-up on autopilot, right? I think that's one of the challenges that I see with most small businesses is like, especially like with internet lead buyers, like if in insurance and in mortgage, those are like the only two industries that exist where there are marketplaces where you can just go buy leads, right? You can't like, there's not a marketplace for lawn care guys to just go buy lawn care leads. And so what has happened with that is because you can just go buy leads, I think a lot of the agents have this like call them once, twice, three times, and then it's like, all right, cool, flush is a bad lead. Versus like for me, I would prefer to take every lead we get and have a 18-month lead nurturing campaign. And like, why do I say 18 months? I say 18 months because most people are going to either get a rate increase or have some type of an experience where they want to shop their insurance within 18 months of buying insurance, right? That's just like the cycle that you guys run in. Most people buy 6 to 12-month policies. If they don't get their rate increase at the 12-month mark, 6 months into that, a lot of times they're seeing that and they go shopping again. And so for me, it's like, if I'm going to pay for a lead, whether that be from buying the lead, getting the lead from search engine optimization, organically, getting the lead from social media, getting it from Google, if I'm paying for that lead, I want to pay one time, dude. And then I want to keep them in the pipeline and drip to them with text messages, emails, ringless voicemails, and direct mail that doesn't cost a ton of money, but allows me to stay in front of that person over and over and over again. It goes from being a shotgun approach or an RPG approach to like sniper approach now. And so, that's how I would propose that. And yeah, I mean, absolutely. We would love to build that out, build those system automations. We have a new team member, Vivek. He's a recent graduate from the University of Louisville. Dude's got a computer engineering degree. He's got a data analyst degree and with an MBA. The dude is super wicked smart and knows Go High Level as well as Zoho and some of the other ones. And so, yeah, building out those automated systems, I think in the next, I mean, right now even, it's like a must-have if you're going to operate from that understanding, right? Like, hey, we're going to have a CRM. Like, if you're going to have one, you might as well like utilize everything that's inside of it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. If you could reach out to me, I'd like to discuss that further.
Yeah, man, for sure. Absolutely. Appreciate the questions, man. Good stuff. Good discussion. Sweet. Who wants to go next? I do want to share this. So,
okay, well, if nobody else is going to go, I have one more.
All right, let's do it, Larry. That's good.
Sorry, I'm trying to give others a chance, but if nobody's going to take it.
That's why I have these calls, man. It's like, I have very limited time. So it's like, this is like the time block. And we honestly, like, we have hundreds and hundreds of clients. So like, I'm surprised more people don't show up and like ask me questions because this is like the time to do it. And it's like how you get one-on-one time with me. So like, yeah, ask away, dude.
Yeah. So I definitely want to talk about that, like you said, the 18-month, nurture follow-up. So I have that, but it's being done manually. It's kind of like earlier talking about changing what people do. It's like right now, it's like I'm using, the lead manager and it's like we're calling 3 months, 6 months. And so it's all manual calls. So but the next step is also nurturing one customer. So we're having that 6 month, 12-month drip campaign to keep them, so that providing value, that so if they do take a slight rate increase, it's not like, oh, let me jump ship, because I'm getting all these other things,
Yeah,
from,
man.
the value. So it's, yeah, did you play, so maybe you already did this. Like one of the things I was really optimistic about with Go High Level was the voice agent, but
Mhm.
it's no offense, it's just horrible at this
Yeah.
point. I'm not saying that theirs isn't going to get better, but I've heard some AI voices that I had to really question whether or not it was. I mean, just based on their perfect English, I'm like, yeah, that's AI, but I couldn't tell based on tonality and just the flow of the conversation. So I'm just curious if you did play any examples.
Yeah, man. So I'll do one right now for you guys, which is basically we have this set up. You guys can try these on your own. Let me throw Amanda, if you can, let me see. I think she's still in here. Yeah, Amanda, if you could throw in the chat the John Smith phone number. Um, and I'm gonna call it right now. If you can just go grab that and throw it in the chat, that'd be great. I'll call Allie. And we're working on one right now, Larry. It's just gonna be a bigger build for us for Carroll Media. Like we were training it on everything Allie can do, the ability to book calls. Like we're trying to do quote unquote Mac Daddy of a build out to show like what's possible. But just on the front side of like, hey, how about it just answers calls, does basic customer service questions like when do you guys open, when do you guys close? I need to file a claim. Cool, let me get your information. Hey, I need a quote. I need to add a car. I need to add a kid. Basic information like that. That's what we have it set up for right now for like the 197. But let me call this and I'll show you guys what this looks like.
Thanks for calling John Smith Insurance. This is Allie. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hey, Allie, this is DJ Carroll.
DJ Carroll, it's good to meet you. You today.
Yeah, I was calling to get a quote. I currently have my insurance with Larry. He's an Allstate agent, and they just gave me a rate increase. I called their office and nobody answered to talk about it, so I'm just going to go shopping. I needed to get a quote from John Smith.
About the rate increase, DJ. I'd be happy to get you a quote. To get started, could I please get your phone number and email address?
Yeah, my phone number is 502-555-1234.
DJ, I have your one or email address so I can get your quote.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to give my email address out. If somebody could just call me or text me, that'd be best.
Completely understand, DJ. Make a note for the team to reach out to you by phone or text. Could you let me know what type of insurance you're looking for? Was it auto, home, life, or commercial?
Yeah, I've got a house. We've got an SUV, a truck, and then I also have my Polaris slingshot and a boat.
DJ, you're looking for both home and auto insurance. Both. Awesome. Just to confirm, you're a new customer, right? Did you hear about John Smith Insurance?
I saw a Facebook ad from you guys.
Letting me know, DJ. Someone from the team will reach out to you as soon as possible to get your quote started. A day for them to call or text.
Anytime's fine. And you guys are local here in the community, right?
We are right here in Louisville at 52 East Market Street. We're a local team that's been serving the community for years. We're really in good hands. All the info I need, DJ. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I guess is this something that like you guys will get back to me pretty quickly on? Okay. Well, I also have a couple DUIs on my record. Is that okay? Can you guys still do my insurance?
Up, DJ. We work with a variety of insurance providers and we'll do our best to find coverage that fits your needs. Make sure the agent who reaches out is aware of your situation so they can give you options.
Okay. I also have a teen driver. I don't know if that's going to make any difference or not.
DJ, we'll make your driver in in the quote. Coverage for young drivers is something we handle regularly, and I have everything noted, and the agent will be in touch soon to go over all the details. Thank you for calling John Smith Insurance.
All right, thanks so much. So, as you can see, I think we have the realest sounding AI voice. The other piece to this is that her knowledge base file just on her brand alone is 17 pages, meaning like when she fires up what we tell her and how to sound and how to talk. That's why it's funny enough, Larry, the ad that I just shot yesterday, I said, these AI voice bots are built by tech bros that don't truly understand business, right? Where she's like, hey, thanks for sharing that with me. That's a customer service thing, right? Where like, if you haven't been on the phones before, like you don't know to train people to say that, right? Like, hey, anytime a customer gives you information, say, hey, I appreciate that. Thanks so much for sharing that with me. Hey, I appreciate your forthcomingness and sharing that you got a couple of DUIs, which for the record, I do not have any DUIs. But what I wanted to show you guys there is like how she can just roll with the punches and doesn't get caught up. We spent a lot of time developing this thing. It was almost 4.5 months just to answer, right? And so like, I think you've got a lot of products in the market right now that are crap, man. They were in development for a couple of weeks and then it's like, it can do all these things. And it's like, we focused on saying, hey, just answer the phone and collect the lead, because that was the biggest problem that we were seeing from small business. Sure, you can do advanced routing and all this other shit down the road, but like the biggest problem is like just answer the phone. And like you guys will notice that was a real number I called. It rings for like a half a second. And that's by design too. Like I know that people don't want to sit there. There's studies that have been done that if you can answer the phone within that first half of a ring, the psyche that happens to the customer is like, oh, wow, these people are super responsive, right? It's like, that's what we want. You also hear in here too, a couple other things I'll touch on is she circled back. Can I have your phone number and your email address? I only gave her phone number. She's trained to be a closer. It's like, well, cool. Can you give me that email address, right? And it was like, it didn't let the call linger. Because what happens is with AI, the longer you're on a call or the longer the chat gets in a chat bot, you start creating these like edge cases where they can kind of start hallucinating. And so she's trained to try to keep the call as tight and as concise and as short as possible. So Larry, how did that one sound compared to like what you heard with Go High Level's voice?
No, I mean, it sounded good. And you kind of touched on the next, part that I wanted to, was going to ask about was just like the hallucinations and just, not pulling information from places that it shouldn't,
Right.
saying things it shouldn't. And, just also the integration with, the CRMs and stuff. So kind of what it can do. It's like, I mean, I know theoretically how to do it. It's just the time that it takes to work that in the back end. I'd rather have somebody who just graduated from where did your person graduate?
He went to U of L. He went to the Technology Institute in Mumbai, but super sharp guy. And again, it's like a lot of this too, man, is like there's a lot of crap products that are just like repackaged Chat GPT. Like she does not run on Chat GPT or OpenAI, right? So like she is fully customized. And we've also just figured out that like in this space, there's a lot of tools that you can go use. But again, like what you just said, right? It's like, I mean, I could probably go figure this out, but like, or I could just pay you guys and within like 48 or 72 hours, by end of day, Monday, business day, I'm sending you a phone number that's like, hey, Larry, here's Allie trained on your business. Test her. Let us know if there's any more fine tuning. And then when you're ready to go, you just forward your phone numbers to that phone, right? Like to that number we give you. And so like, for us, man, it's ease of use. And again, that's why I kind of rag on the tech bros, but I'm like, until you've been a small business owner and realize there's 9 million fires going on, it's like the last thing I want is 9 million and one. I just need problem solved. I think that's what they miss out on. But yeah, dude, we're super bullish about the voice stuff. I think it's a game changer for small businesses.
Cool. All right.
Cool. And Amanda put the number in the chat there. Thanks, Amanda. If you guys want to write that down, and you guys are more than welcome to do a test call. After the call, try to get her, myself. My favorite one that I've done with her is I've called and Allie's like, thanks for calling John Smith Insurance. How can I help you? I'm like, Allie, I just got in a wreck. She's like, oh my gosh, is everybody okay? And I'm like, no, I don't know where my leg is. And she's like, oh my gosh, you should probably hang up and call 911, right? It's like, you can have fun with it and kind of test and play around with it. So we're pretty excited about that. Cool, guys. Well, we only got a couple more minutes. Any other questions inside of what we were sharing here? I do want to do a quick screen share and show this because Shannon did give us a quick shout out. This is from her dashboard. This looks like just October to date. So 110,000 ads displayed just in the first 15 days, which is pretty awesome. 668 engagements, 42 link clicks. Yeah, this thing is crushing it. Holy shit. $1.75 to reach 1,000 ads and 80-cent cost per clicks. So Shannon, thank you so much for sharing that with us. That is definitely a kick-ass dashboard. The team is crushing it on that one. Shout out to the team because I couldn't do this without them. I've actually wrote a little dedication in the book. I said your dedication and your support is not only appreciated, it's necessary. I know that you guys probably feel the same way about your teams as well. It's definitely not a one-man show over here. So any other final questions before we bounce out of here, guys?
Hey, DJ, what's your favorite AI tool? This is David Reed.
Hey, David, what's up, man? Thanks for hopping on. Whoa, that's a loaded question. Can you give me context on like to do what with?
Well, I mean, I've been using ChatGPT for most things, but is there like a better AI tool to use?
Yeah. For research, I love Perplexity, which we showed at the beginning of the call. That's great for research purposes. I'm also a big fan of Claude in writing. You know, in this book, so I took my 500-page manuscript, got it down to 200, and I want to say we were like 261 pages. And again, just so you guys see, like it's not 261, like that's size 12 font. So like there's a lot of value in this book. I would say for writing purposes, Claude probably did better on the chapters. Now, when I did the live read through on Monday, it was pretty cool because like I could tell in like a couple of the chapters, it like kind of rehashed a couple of the stories back to back, which I purposely didn't. I told my editor, I was like, you know, some of this stuff I'm not going to edit out because I want to talk about it. Like the whole point of editing this book with AI is like it gives me something to speak about when I do my AI talks. But it's also kind of simultaneously the reason why I wrote this book is because we do live in a world where food is at a push of a button. All these AI tools exist, and we've kind of gotten fat and lazy, if you will, for a reason, right? It's like the hunter inside of us is still there. And so it's like a call to bring that back out because I think we're going to need it more now going forward than ever before. But I would say Claude, man, from a writing stance is really, really cool. And then I'll also tell you one, I just showed Amanda this one yesterday, and I built one for the book. Notebook LM. It is a Google product. So Notebook LM for Notebook Language Model. One of the challenges with using AI is that it hallucinates. And so if you give it a transcript or you give it a document and you say, hey, create me 15 quotes, as it starts creating, it might just start making shit up. And so with Notebook LM, it is created so that it only pulls from the data that you give it. And so part of like when you buy the book this week on launch week, which you can get if you go to hunterheadgame.com, you can get a copy of the book, and then we give you the audiobook for free that I live streamed and recorded. And then we give you access to the Notebook LM so that like you can play around with it and basically chat with the book, which is really cool. So I would say Perplexity for research, Claude for writing, ChatGPT is my go-to for generalized things. VO3, which is Gemini for video creation, and then the Notebook LM. Because another thing you guys can do is you could take all of your SOPs. We're getting ready to start doing this. Take all of our SOPs and playbooks that we have, feed them into a Notebook LM, and now they're in there. And now your team has a place to go and pull the processes and the operating procedures inside of your business. So long-winded answer, but I know I didn't give you a single one. The other thing is, dude, every time they do an update, like it's like, this is the smartest model ever. And it's like, well, yeah, because it's just the most recently updated, and it's going to be that way for at least the next 5 to 10 years. Cool. All right. Sarah says, first time to join the call. 2 claps on Ric Flair, Sarah. Woo! Thanks for hopping on. Love the pace and detail of info shared. I've got to run to another meeting. Would love to see more of the case studies on alley uses to help us generate our ideas and plans for 2026. Also, Anne Marie said y'all are working on 2026 service matrix and pricing models. Would love to see as we plan for 26. Also, are there tools to help us feed the details to build an alley voice solution? Can take these questions back through Anne-Marie. So, okay. So Sarah, a couple things on that. Yes, we do have a new pricing matrix. We're actually launching a new site called hirealley.com as we play more around this like AI employee space. We do have some new pricing matrix. What I'm going to do is, Amanda, if you could make a note, let's shoot Sarah an email and get her some time. Sarah, we'll just do some one-on-one because Anne Marie is actually taking a new position. We're super excited for her. She's taken everything that she's learned with us. She'll still be working with us locally in some kind of capacity of like, sharing leads and whatnot and sending people our way. But she is going to, Larry too. Reach out to Larry too. Yeah, we got you, Larry. State Farm folks, Sarah. Yep. How to integrate your tools. Cool. So Amanda, let's reach out to Sarah, and Larry, so we can get some one-on-one time with those guys. Happy to help you guys strategize. Anne Marie, we're super excited for her. She got one hell of a pay increase. We're sad to see her leave, but we're happy for her professional growth and professional development. So she'll be moving on to greener pastures, if you will. And so, I'll reach out to you, Sarah. We'll get some time on the schedule to chat and look at that, and happy to talk with you guys. Yeah, Paige, definitely have Allie, Charlie call that Allie voice. He sent me a text about it, and I responded to him, but he never got back to me. I know he's busy, but I'll follow up with you as well, Paige, on that. So, well, cool, guys. It's the top of the hour. This has been more interesting than any meeting we've had with State Farm. I'll be joining up. Awesome, Charlie. Glad you were here, man. And as always, guys, I try to keep this thing super jam-packed with just value and info. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you are a current client and you're in the Alley app, you'll get the replay sent to you. So just keep an eye on that inside the app. You'll get the full replay. If you want to share it with your team members, please do so. I make sure that these things are super value packed for you guys. And this is my one time per month where I get to come and hang out with you all. So until next time, Charlie, I do appreciate the compliment. We'll take care and see you guys soon. And go get your copy of the Hunter Head Game, man. It's $39.99. We'll ship it out to you. And you can get that at thehunterheadgame.com. So thank you guys for hanging out and chatting with me. If you need anything, please shoot us an email, support@carroll.media. And until next time, guys, take care. See ya.